everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks again so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Quick look here again at ICP. We're going to double check this descending trend line. We've broken through that, and there is a strong propensity here for ICP to continue further up because of that. But again, there's generally going to be a bullish backtest, a descending trend line that we normally want to look out for. So a pullback would make sense, of course, and that doesn't always happen, obviously. We've been expecting, or I've been wanting ICP to pull back multiple times. It still hasn't yet. In fact, I really want to get it at $9, and that may never happen. That's just the way it goes with trading, though, folks. You got to recognize that dips don't always dip, and prices don't always go up, and just kind of the way that it works. So, to anyone who was mentioning this in the comments yesterday, I think they were saying you're always looking for the price to pull back, and sometimes it never does, which is true. That's absolutely correct. But again, I'm more of a patient trader. I'd much rather wait for an opportunity that doesn't happen than to get into a trade that ends up going south on me. So once more, patience does pay off in most cases, but that is true. When you're a patient trader, you can inevitably have more FOMO too, right? So again, just par for the course. Anyways, let's look at the liquidation levels here on the back end to see what's going on. We can see a lot of shorts at about 1025 to 1035, upwards of 1050. So this most recent high, essentially, swept that level. I mentioned yesterday, too, that 1025 was a point of contention. While we have some new late shorts, majority of the recent shorts got swept. And we can see this here as well for the macro, at least the monthly. A lot of liquidation there at that 1025 to 1020 mark. Okay, so again, majority of the liquidation has been swept. So there's more incentive for the price to pull back down again to $7, $8, or $9 because of liquidation. But again, that's not a reason to take a trade. Not proposing you short this coin right now. It's showing tremendous strength, and it's with good reason. Okay, so again, we're just going to pull out our Elliott wave here, and just note that too with Elliott wave, it's always progressing. You're always establishing new highs and new lows essentially. The key takeaway here is that our impulse wave here, basically our third wave, is generally the largest. So we could even see this continue higher. But right now at 0.618, holding perfectly strong there. There's a resistance there at about 1025. Makes sense the price is rejecting there. It would also make sense for the price action to pull back a little further too. Again, I'll post our playout charts here in our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, and future reference to our community members. If you're not familiar, I just kind of want to highlight this for you. If you're part of our Discord, and of course this will be available on Telegram too soon, we want to say there's a section here with our trade alerts that I provide you basically specific details on each trade that I'm planning to take. Okay, so again, liquidation levels, everything kind of specific there. These are kind of just heads up on what I'm planning to do with our trades before we take them, or updates on current trades as well. So just keep in mind that is an option there. Make sure you subscribe to that. We're gonna have an option too to be able to pick your own coins that you want to follow, so it can notify you specifically for those alerts. It's gonna be a cool feature. Okay, so ICP, daily time frame, let's work our way down. We look at the moving averages, and this was an important thing from yesterday. Staying above the 50-day SMA is super huge. So being over the 50 and the 20 really is a strong sign that we're on the right side of tracks. So it basically tells us we've broken this descending type of trend. We had a bullish backtest of that SMA line, and the price action is holding strong. So again, this 0.5, this 940 is a solid chance that level is going to hold. Again, it depends on how Bitcoin pulls back if it does. Again, it pulled down to the 63.8, 63.9 range a moment ago, and ICP is holding strong. So it's generally a good sign when you see coins like this holding strong, holding above their moving average on the volume, and this daily candlestick literally just it's barely halfway through. These are very good signs. Okay, just implies more upside is likely. Keep in mind, stochastic has been maxed out for a while. We're getting closer to 70 in the RSI. Generally, that's a rejection zone. So I would say at 0.618, this 1025 is going to be a likely resistance level for us. But keep in mind, we have some free range here. In other words, 1047, 1050 is a round number. We saw a lot of support back there, and this is going to be the new high. Okay, so if the price does continue any higher from here, you can expect a rejection at about the 1150 range, because that was a more recent support level for us. Okay, so just some kind of things to think about. 4-hour time frame, we're above all moving averages, still looking very strong. Stochastic is trying to swing to the downside, but we're not seeing much of a pullback. In a perfect world, we see stochastic pull back, get our double bottom on stochastic, and that's when we take entry for ICP. We are over 70 in the RSI as well. Always construed as a do not sell your long position sign. In other words, when the price breaks below 70, that's when you consider taking profits. And if you look at this hindsight too, of course, hindsight's 2020. If you look at RSI, it bounced off 70 on the RSI right here, and multiple times it's come close to crossing below 70, but hasn't. So imagine, had you sold right here when the price crossed 70, you would have missed out on all this profit. So again, that's exactly why when you see a coin break through that key level resistance at 70 in the RSI, specifically on the 4-hour, you wait for it to pull back, and at that point, you consider securing profits. It's like 95% of the time going to be a much higher price point than it would be lower. So again, statistical probabilities there is all. We got a second MACD divergence here trying. Hasn't happened yet, but if we do diverge on the MACD here soon, might be cause for consideration to take a long position at a lower price point or secure profits. Hourly time frame we want to look here. This is probably going to tell us, actually it's not yet, which is great. Most coins are the lagging spends within the price action, and the coins are reversing themselves. For example, Solana, we're starting to see kind of a shift in momentum. With ICP, we don't see that. We see good convergence on the conversion line being above the baseline. Lagging spends free and clear, and we're over the cloud here. So generally speaking, we got a lot of support in this range of 940 to roughly 980, and I think there's a solid chance the price could continue to run a bit further. Just keep in mind we are fairly overextended, and even though overextensions don't always play out the way that we want them to, or they're not like a reason to take a trade, it is a looming factor here. So if that happens, then just say, for example, on the 4-hour, we start to diverge on the MACD, then we may want to consider flipping to a short if you are into that. Again, I wouldn't recommend shorting much coins right now, specifically not this one. Or the inverse, of course, just taking a long at a lower price point. Make sure you secure some profits wherever you can, of course, just because this is not the market to be super greedy with longer holds, right? I think if you got in here in the $7 range and you're about 45% up on your profit, why continue to hold? It just doesn't make sense. You're going to get eaten up on fees, especially with leverage, so be careful with that. Either way, thanks again so much for watching. Hope this made sense. I clarified a few things. Make sure you trade Bitunics in the world's best exchange. This is my personal opinion. They're a good up-and-coming exchange. No KYC or VPN required, and you get some excellent rewards when you use my link to register. And of course, we got a Twitter, Telegram, and Discord as well, in case that works better for you. I hope you all learned something again. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Take care.